It's January 14, 2026. It's noon. It's 46 degrees Fahrenheit, 8 degrees Celsius, and I'm going for a walk. Please allow the grass to grow. That is never going to happen. Uh-oh. It's starting to rain. I better go back. An earring. These colors. Someone has altered this cone by installing a question mark seahorse. I make music and I release songs as myself, and I also release songs with my band Gentle Hand. Now, on March 6th, I have a new solo album coming out. It's going to be called Almost Always Overwhelmed. But on February 6th, I have a single from that album that's going to be coming out. And that song is called You, So I. And I'm in the midst of trying to figure out how to do this. Now, I've put out a lot of music in the past, but each time it's like a learning curve. And also, the industry just keeps changing. So, this is kind of behind the scenes stuff, and maybe you'll find it boring, but it helps for me to, if I say it out loud, I sort of understand it more, maybe. I'm releasing the song first, and then the album a month later. And a huge part of releasing music these days is releasing it at the online listening places, Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, Amazon, Deezer, YouTube, etc. All the places that people listen to music online. And it's not a just simple thing as you can just upload a song to these places. You need to go through a third party called a digital distributor. So I have one of those, and I send in the song with all of the information that needs to be attached to the file, which is a lot of information, including an ISRC number. And an ISRC number is each song has its own number, and that's how it is tracked by places like for radio airplay and for TV airplay and for online play, all that stuff. It all gets tracked to this number because you can't just do the title of the song, because there could be multiple songs with the same title. Careful here. So that makes sense, right? But here's where it gets a little complicated. If you're releasing a single from the album first, which I am, that single has an ISRC number. And then you have to keep that number. When the album comes out, that song has to have that number too. So you have to manually make that happen. But here's the other trick. When you're doing this, what you got to do, or what people do, or what seems to be the current thing, is that you release the single. It's got its own individual artwork, different than that of the album. That's sort of a requirement by the online places. And then it's out. And then when it's time for the album to come out, you remove that single from all those places, and then you put out the album. But that same number applies to that song, so that all the stats, I guess, all the plays and whatever, stick with that song. So if you release a single and 10,000 people listen to it, which won't be the case for me, and then when you release the album, that 10,000 will still be attached to that song. And that number of listens is important, because that's how well, first of all, you get a tiny little bit of a fraction of a piece of a penny for each of those listens, but also the online streaming services look at those numbers, and the songs with the higher numbers they assume are more popular songs, and the algorithm pushes them to more people and to more playlists, etc. Eight. Tone Lennon. Of course, that part of it's only a tiny, tiny little piece of the complicatedness of releasing music. You've also got, you got to send it out. You got to get it out there to radio stations and writers and podcasters and bloggers and vloggers and joggers and even the game Frogger. Eggnog. Big Log is a song by, lead singer of Led Zeppelin. Bow, 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 bow. My love is in league with the freeway. Robert Plant. But anyway, this is what's going on in my mind right now, because I'm trying to organize all this stuff, and I got to learn how to do it again. And I don't think I ever really properly knew in the first place. But I'm excited to put music out there, and I apologize if it's not super interesting, but it's probably something I'm going to be talking about more and more over the next couple months as I work things out. My walk is getting cut short because it's raining on me. That's okay. Okay, thanks.